Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well. I'm just gonna get right to the chase and show you how I get healthy, long, and strong hair. Maybe it's one of your New Year's resolutions is to add some inches to the bottom of your hair and just grow it out a little bit longer. It's one thing to have long hair, it's one thing to have healthy long hair, because if you just have long hair with like burnt, crusty, split ends that are like coming all the way up, it doesn't look cute. But when you have like healthy, long, strong hair, different story. I did make a lazy girl hair care routine video, so if you want to check that one out first and then come back to this video or just watch that one after. I'm not going to reference like my entire hair care routine. That's what that video is about. It's a little outdated in terms of like what I do now, but if you guys want an updated hair care routine, let me know down below. But I'm going to give you my ultimate tips and tricks for growing actual long healthy hair without doing too much, without trying too hard, because no one needs to be taking daily vitamins and supplements and minerals unless you want to, obviously. If you're that committed and that's your MO, then go for it. I am not going to stop you, queen. I do want to acknowledge that a few factors play into having longer hair, which is genetics. My hairdresser once told me that if your hair hasn't grown past a certain length, it may not ever grow past a certain length because of like the way your hair plugs work. I don't exactly know the science behind it. She's an amazing hairdresser though, Amanda Moore. She actually just opened her first salon, so if you are in the Brooklyn area of New York City, check her out. It's something in French, but I'll leave it here and you guys can check her out. But if you've never tried to grow your hair out long, then you don't know. So I know that my hair will probably not get much longer than past my waist, because that's the longest I've ever grown it. Level set your expectations. Don't think that you're gonna have hair that grows past your butt in 1 year. You know, it takes time, obviously, and maybe just genetically your hair's not set up for that, and that's okay. I just want to let you guys know I typically have like 2A, 2B, like wavy curly hair, but today I did like a little blow dry and just wanted to acknowledge that. So it does help lengthen my hair when it's styled like this. I'm not going to give you a full routine rundown, but I am going to give you my best tips and tricks to get those inches. So first and foremost is wash your hair when you need it. Now that doesn't mean like, oh, my hair is like a little bit greasy, I'm gonna wash it today. Like, don't wash it unless you've like worked out and sweat really hard, or if you actually have like hair product or debris in your hair, or yes, your hair is like actually oily and greasy to the point where you can't stand it anymore, then you should be washing your hair. But washing your hair every single night just to wash it is like really damaging. It's drying, it's not letting your natural oils nourish your hair and spread throughout from root to tip. So don't wash your hair unless you like absolutely need to. But I do want to acknowledge, if you have been to the gym, you should wash your hair that night, because you have sweat on your scalp that then helps breed like bacteria and oils that are just sticking to your scalp, and it's not letting your natural oils flow. So you might think, okay, well, I sweat, but my hair is like fine, it looks okay. You still have like gunk in your hair, so to speak, so you should be washing your hair on nights that you go to the gym and like sweat really hard. Now, if you're not really physically active and you're not doing much, like let's say you've just had a break and you haven't done much for 3 days, different story. Unless you have like actual like stuff and gunk in your hair, you really shouldn't be washing it that often. I also want to mention that it is good to let your hair get oily from time to time and style it with like a sleek style or a protective style or something of that manner, because you do want your natural oils to go from root to tip and nourish your hair, and that's what they're there for. Let them do their job. Speaking of showering, what has really, I think, changed the game for me and helped my products work better and help my oil produce more naturally but also be regulated is double cleansing in the shower. And I'm not talking about my face, I'm actually talking about washing and shampooing my hair twice. My hairstylist Gina told me this. She is in New Jersey. I will leave her link down below. Also amazing. I've seen her twice and she has done wonders to my hair. It's changed my life, this tip. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's say I styled my hair and I put hairspray in, right? Didn't go to the gym, didn't do anything that day, went to sleep, woke up the next day, went to the gym. Then that is going to require me a deeper cleanse. So I'm going to shampoo my hair not once, but twice. Sometimes if it's been a really long time since I've washed my hair, I will wash it 3 times. And that is really to penetrate deep on the debris and the scalp and clear it all and just make sure not only is my scalp clean, but the products that I'm using are being worked and used to their full potential. And I think that's very important, because you might be spending tons of money on hair care and being like, why is it not working? This is supposed to be like a nourishing thing and it's just not doing it for me. It could be that you're just not washing your hair enough, which sounds kind of contradictory to the point I made earlier of like, oh, you shouldn't wash your hair every night. I still don't think you should, but when you need it, evaluate if it's like, oh, I just am like a little greasy today, or is it like, okay, I have hairspray in, I have dry shampoo in, and I went to the gym. That might require cleansing 3 times, especially depending on how thick your hair is and how much hair you have. So that changed my life, and I feel like it'll change yours too, especially if you want like nice regulated oil production to nourish your hair. Now, when I was only shampooing my hair once, I would shower and maybe not go to the gym and not do anything, and then my hair would be greasy the next 2 days, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's because I wasn't actually washing my scalp, I was washing my hair, and there's a difference, and I think we should all know that. Also, when I'm in the shower, this goes for my like wavy curly girls, you're gonna want to comb out your hair while your conditioner is in it. Now, you don't want to start from root and go to the tip. I feel like that's just intuitive, what people do most of the time, but you actually want to gently start from your ends and brush through, and then work your way up to your mids, and then your conditioner really should only go from like your chin or ear down. You really shouldn't be putting it at your root because your natural oils will be producing enough, but then you want to start working your way up and just kind of combing your hair out in that way. Now, if you go from root to tip, first of all, you're getting conditioner in your hair that it doesn't need to be on your scalp and sitting there, but you're also risking damaging all of the hair with breakage as you kind of rough and pull your way through. That also goes for when you're out of the shower and applying hair products. You still want to do the same method. Go from the ends to your mids, and if you need to the root. So always kind of work backwards. And when I first heard this tip, I was like, you mean you want me to tease my hair? No, don't do that. That's actually gonna ruin your hair. Also, if you want to grow longer, healthier hair, you are gonna need a trim or a dusting or just like a complete restyle every 3 to 4 months. I find that I can go 4 months if I'm not using heat, 3 months if I have been using heat more frequently, just to kind of dust up the ends. And that's gonna help prevent breakage at your ends going like all the way up the hair shaft. So you wanna definitely literally cut those out before it becomes a big issue and it frays the ends and makes them dry and crusty and dusty and not cute. So definitely make sure you're keeping up with your trims, or if you can do it at home, great. Make sure that they're periodic and regular and keeping your hair health in check. I also do heat style more frequently than I ever have before. That's because of the Shark. I literally talk about this thing way too often, so Shark, if you want to sponsor me, let's talk. But no, I actually do love this thing because it does dry and style at the same time. But I also love is that it is a lower heat than I would use if I'm using like a curling iron or a straightener or even just a regular hair dryer. I absolutely love that I can control how much heat my hair is getting, and that way I can protect it from being overly damaged. Also, what I love is that these are like ceramic tools, so it does make my hair super soft and shiny and just like amazing. I feel so good and fresh. So I definitely would recommend, if you are gonna heat style your hair, maybe look into something that is a little bit gentler on your hair, like a blowout brush or something that like has a good heat regulation. This goes for any hair tool actually. The cheaper the hair tool, the less equipped it is for heat regulation, and that can like really fry and damage your hair. So just be aware of that. Like if you are going to heat style, make sure it's a tool that you know isn't going to fry your hair. As far as hair products go for heat styling, obviously you have to have heat protectant. You have to. Otherwise you're just like literally opening the door for your ends to be frayed, dried, and crusty and crispy. So a few things that I use are the Color Wow Extra Large Bombshell Volumizer Mousse. This is good. It does have some heat protectant built in. The Briogeo Farewell Frizz. This isn't really much for volume, but it does really well for just like making my hair sleek, shiny, and smell really good. This also has heat protectant in it. It is a blow dry cream and heat protectant cream kind of duo. I do really like this stuff. And then if I'm gonna be kind of like drying my hair, and then sometimes I will take my straightener and do curls because those last so long, I use my Chi Infra Keratin Mist, and I like this. It says it's 95% natural, so we're here for that. Shout out Chi. And yeah, those are my absolute heat protectant products. Sorry about the sun, it's doing weird things right now. We're gonna have to just keep rolling. And then also for making my ends moisturized and just drink up the moisture is the Verb Ghost Oil. You guys probably saw this coming. This is in my 2024 favorites, as are a few of these things. So I love this stuff. It helps make my hair shiny. So what I typically do is like mousse, heat protectant, and then the oil, and then style. And that's how my hair turns out like this, and doesn't feel crispy, fried, or dead at the ends. Like, they actually feel really healthy. If you want to do like hair, skin, and nail vitamins, you can totally do that. If that helps, I just am not someone who's dedicated and disciplined enough to be taking vitamins every day unless they're like in gummy form. But water is your next best friend. It's definitely something that's really good for your skin, really good for your hair, good for your organs, just good for you in general. And it truly is just gonna help kind of, you're gonna grow like little sunflowers. Definitely hydrate. And the last thing that I do to help keep my hair long and healthy is to do protective styles. So typically for me, this means braids, or it means just throwing in a scrunchie that's like wrapped in silk, or even one of my little headbands like I wore one in my last video. It just like helps keep my hair put together, but I don't have to style it with heat or wrap it up too much, or even put like damaging elastics in it. And also, one tip that I learned from Kaylee Boyle, she has amazing beautiful hair, you should check her out, is when you have a ponytail in your hair, you should, let's do it, let's just do an example. You should never from here just pull it out. You should unloop it, right? Like pull it through out, and then when it's one loop, pull it the rest of the way. That way you're not literally pulling at your hair and causing like those little baby hairs at the top of your head. I really don't have that many because, you know, I try to treat my hair really well and take super good care of it. So I think that those are the biggest tips for growing out your hair super long. It's gonna take time, and you're gonna have to be dedicated to not over styling it, putting too much heat on it, or getting crazy cuts all the time. Like, I'm definitely guilty of going through phases of like, okay, I want layers, no, I don't want layers, and just doing too much with my hair and not allowing it to grow. And I also didn't know at the time that I just love my long hair. I think it suits me best. It's like most me, you know? So when I made the decision, I've stuck to it, and the hair just keeps growing, guys. So we love that. If you guys have any other tips or tricks, leave them down below. This was just like a very rapid fire way of how to get your hair long and healthy for the new year. If that's one of your resolutions or one of your goals, it's definitely doable. Just have to evaluate where you are at your hair journey, where you want to be, and then how you're gonna get there. And hopefully these tips help you along the way. Again, check out that lazy hair care video. It has a bunch more of like kind of my day in and day out, what I do for my hair, and some of those things still apply. And they do actually help for growth as well, so worth a watch. There is also going to be a video at the end of this one that the algorithm is going to recommend for you, so you should stick around to check that out. I hope you guys have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. Until next Sunday, don't forget to be kind to yourself, others, and the planet. Bye.